Right. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call
Hey,
to
everybody.
order.
Oh,
Hello, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to call to order the April 10th, 2023 Committee on Real Estate. Um, Unfortunately, Councilmember Gregg is, I believe, across the pond, and so he won't be able to give today's invocation. But I can always count on Councilman Shade to drop an invocation on us on short notice. So if you don't mind.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're in this season of in which three major religions are celebrating high holidays and holy times. And unfortunately, we are besieged by reports of violence across the universe, and even in our own backyard, more instances of violence. When there should be a time of peace and harmony and mutual respect for one another, we see just the opposite. So we call on the Almighty to guide us, to protect us, to help us be respectful for each other in our diversity, that we are able to be men of goodwill, and through that divine intervention, that we may be prosperous and happy. In God's name we pray, amen.
yeah.
Thank you, Councilman Shade. That was very good. First item up on the agenda is the approval of the March 27th, 2023 minutes. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. First item up is an authorization for the mayor to execute on behalf of the city of Charleston a quitclaim deed and any other documents necessary to quitclaim property designated as Charleston County TMS number 463-10-04-034. And this is pertaining to a sewer pump station going over to CPW or CWS, sorry. I got them and MPW mixed up in my mind for a second. I'll never do that again. Who do we have? Okay, Melissa, you want to take this one away?
That's me. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to share my screen. And so we're going to be talking about this red square right here. It is on 10th Avenue between St. Margaret Street and Grove Street. This red parcel is what the city currently owns. This parcel immediately to the north, ending in 129, is what CWS owns. And if we can go to this Google Street view, this is a pump station in this fenced area that is operated by CWS or CPW, sorry, same thing. And the city's property is about right here, and CPW's property is about right here. And the pump station is mainly on the city property, but a little bit on their property. Recently, a tree fell onto the property. I'm not sure which tree. And so when they were trying to work all that out, they realized that the city still owns this property. And so they are asking us to quit claim the property over to them. It's not a very large property. And in fact, it is, when it was granted to the city, it was limited for the purpose of a pumping station.
So moved.
Moved and properly.
Mayor, you muted. You're on mute, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, Mr. Mayor and Councilman Shade, I'm
Aye.
going to need y'all moving and seconding until the time for the foreseeable future here.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Melissa, for that. That sounds like a no-brainer. Always good to consolidate government services where possible. Next item on the agenda has to do with our urban greenbelt application. Who from staff is going to give us a little rundown on this one? Looks like we're revising this application to add just 4 parcels, and it'll only increase the funding request by $12,360. So it looks like a pretty moderate amendment. Matt, do you want to maybe give us some more background on this one?
Sure, and I hear Jason just jumped in as well, but essentially we had the original Greenbelt application for the Woodmere property off Ashley Hall Road. Since that time, there are 3 other parcels adjacent to it, 2 bodies of water and an island that are owned by the beach company. The beach company has agreed to essentially give these properties to the city, which would expand the potential park space by about 30 acres.
Wow.
And all we are doing with this resolution is bringing in some additional costs through the grant application to cover our due diligence costs, mostly associated with environmental and surveying.
Thanks, Matt.
Great. Well, that all sounds wonderful.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and properly
Second.
seconded. Any further discussion from any of the committee members? Questions? This one sounds like a no-brainer as well. All in favor, please signify
Aye.
by saying aye. Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to publicly thank
Sure.
Mr. John Darby and the Beach Company for agreeing to give this property to the city. I think it'll long-term greatly enhance the park and be able to add a water feature and also a land connection all the way over to the corner of behind St. Joseph's Catholic Church over there. I forget the name of the street.
Hollenberg.
There you go. It could make a little park a really nice thing long term. So we thank the beach company for their generosity on this one.
Wonderful. Absolutely. I'd like to echo that. Thanks to the beach company. And, we're doing so many new parks on the water in West Ashley. It's hard to keep track of them all between WPAL, Carl Richardson, this one, really making some great progress over in West Ashley on parks, especially on the water. So all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously approved. Next item has to do with an authorization for the mayor to execute on behalf of the city a 3rd addendum to the MOU with the Friends of the Lowline. And this is for the use of TIF funds regarding ongoing conceptual design work. Ms. Copeland, welcome.
Thank you, Chairman. So yes, in 2021, we issued a 2nd addendum to this MOU with the Friends of the Lowline to incorporate $150,000 from the Cooper River Bridge TIF. After some discussions with the Friends of the Lowline, we are now suggesting we enter into this 3rd addendum. We're thereby relinquishing their use of the $150,000 to the city so that we can use those funds toward the completion of the engineering phase for the Lowline.
Move for approval.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sorry, Councilman Shade.
Yeah, can I ask a question of our legal advisor? How much of the TIF money are we talking about at this point?
It's $150,000.
Thank you, ma'am.
So is it this? It's not the same 150 we approved in 2021, or is it?
It's the same money. We're just
Got
getting approval back to utilize it for some cost items that it makes most sense right now for the city to complete.
I see. So the funding's already been approved. We're just modifying what the funding could be used for.
Right. The MOU is pretty restrictive.
I see. Got it. Got it.
Isn't that right?
Chairman, if I may.
Roll it.
So part of what happened with the federal planning grant the city received for the low line, it meant that the activities being performed by the Friends of the Low Line might not necessarily need to be done anymore. And there were some other environmental things that we needed to get done before we could move forward on the federal planning grant. So in conversations with the Friends of Low Line, they agreed to relinquish that original allocation we gave to them.
I see.
Since we would be taking on the planning through the federal grant, and it would then allow us the money to move some of the environmental work forward in the meantime.
Got it. Got it. Sounds good. Any further, well, I think we need a second.
Second.
I think the mayor moved and now Councilman Shade has seconded. Any further discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. We are going to now, I assume for all four, Councilman Shade?
Yes, sir.
All right, we've got a motion on the floor to approve the 4 annexations on the agenda. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second, moved and properly seconded. Molly, are you on the line? Do you want to maybe give us a quick rundown on some of these?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. We've got 2 properties in the same neighborhood. Item 12245 South Dollarton Circle, and item 2, which is 2223 North Dollarton Circle. Item 3, 2138 Wapu Drive is our only one from James Island this meeting. It's in the Riverland Terrace neighborhood. And items 1, 2, and 3 are single family residential. Item 4 is a commercial property, 912 Savannah Highway. This is the Keystone Chiropractic is operating there right now. No major developments or other requests, so we don't foresee any issues with items 1 through 4. Thank you.
Sounds good. And Molly, for D2, that's not our Christopher Morgan, is it? Or is this
No,
just
it's an imposter.
unbelievable? Well,
I know it. I know.
I know our Christopher would have been in the city a long time
Been a
ago.
city resident for almost 30 years.
Absolutely. We'd have it no other way. Well, good deal. We got a motion on the floor for all 4 annexations, moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the 4th Amendment to the MOU between the City of Charleston and Landmark Enterprises Services, LLC. And this is to extend the review period under the agreement by 60 days. Julia, do you want to give some comments on this, or do we have the Landmark folks?
I believe we do actually have the Landmark folks here, but this, of course, is a culmination of the conversations that have been had during the ad hoc committee with our Landmark team and the members of the committee. There was a request that Landmark provide some alternatives, potentially a small footprint for the committee and ultimately council to consider. And Landmark is agreeable to that. They've asked for 60 days, however, in order to come up with some alternative concept plans for council to consider. So right now I have it down for May 23rd, but I think we would ask, and I'm sure Jason will want to chime in, we would ask that we just extend this to 60 days time window.
So Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question?
Sure, of course.
So Julia, do we needed to extend it to June 23rd?
I know I'm trying to do a date-to-date calendar at this moment. As we speak.
So I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I'm working on the date-to-date calendar right now for us. Did you already run that for me?
It'd probably be June 14th or 15th, I would think.
Well, just the outside chance that we end up at the June meeting, which would be June 20th, let's at least take it through the 21st.
But
I know they want to be able to bring this matter back to us before then, but we might as well include that June meeting, don't you think?
So we're going to extend it to June 21st, 2023. Do we need to put an amendment to this request?
yes, sir.
So So, Mr. Chairman, I move that we amend this resolution to extend the review period deadline to June 21st, 2023.
Second.
Okay, moved and properly seconded. The amended motion is on the floor. Any further discussion, questions?
Yep, Mr. Chairman, I'd ask that we've got our representatives from Landmark, and if they could just give us a little update of where we are with them. I saw a memo that they had prepared. And while we have them available, I think it'd be helpful if they could chime in.
Sounds good.
I see Jason there now.
Jason, take it away.
So we're starting our process, obviously with the committee discussions, to relook at the project, and it's a better way to pare down the project, if you will, condense the project, still not take away from the project, but give us the things that we want while we can figure out certain solutions on site. So that's really the exercise and the goal. And so we're working to do, which will take some time to reanalyze that and bring it back to the city.
Jason, you were breaking up pretty good over there. I don't know if I was the only one having a problem hearing you.
Let's see.
I got the gist of it.
Okay. Sorry if I'm still breaking up, if we're having a communication issue. I do apologize.
So, Mr. Chairman, my understanding of where we're headed with this is that this proposal for the Sumar Street site would eliminate the need for an underground or above ground garage. These plans would include a surface lot only, and reduce the other footprint, I think, that Landmark is looking at. So I would certainly support this amended resolution to give them an opportunity to proceed until June 21st. This is going to take a good bit of time and effort on their part with their architect and other team to see where we are with this project. But I think this is consistent with the comments we've had from our ad hoc committee that we formed a couple of months ago, and our discussions with our other council members. This is actually going back to Plan A, what I would call, that was initially proposed to council some time ago from our in-house design team. So I would move that we approve E as amended.
Okay.
I think I've already seconded the motion.
Yep, we've got a motion. The amended motion has been moved and properly seconded, and it's on the floor. And I would just comment by saying that this this extension of the MOU doesn't take off the table any of the work that's been performed by Landmark to date, any of the approved plans and things of that nature. It'll just provide us with something else to look at, as some of the members of the ad hoc committee have requested, as Councilman Shade alluded to. And this will just give us all the information we need to chart the best course forward for West Ashley and the city as a whole. Mr. Mayor?
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. And without restating what you just said, I wanted to thank Jason and Ward and Landmark for their continuing to work with us on this. It may be, at this point, it's my belief that the option we have on the table is the best proposal, but council wanted to see some other options. This will provide that. And I'm thankful for their patience, Jason's and Landmark's patience, and Leo and all his team, to be able to help us work through this. Thank you.
Absolutely. I second that as well. Councilman Waring, I see you've joined.
Yeah, I did. Thank you, guys. I think I came on the tail end of an amendment. Can I get that explained to me?
Sure. The agenda item originally was a 30-day extension, and we've amended the item to extend it for 60 days through June 21st, 2023. And the idea here is for Landmark to go back to the drawing board and come up with a conceptual alternative for council to look at as we continue to move forward with the process.
And Mr. Chairman, if I could just add on to that to inform Councilman Waring, this proposed plan would not include a garage either above ground or underground. It would just include a project that would be a surface lot, and it would reduce the number of buildings on this property as well. So this would be consistent. I would suggest Councilman Waring with what our discussions have been at our ad hoc committee that we put together some time ago, that it would be along those lines that we have been discussing and debating about.
Mr. Chairman,
Sure.
let me ask this. I'm in favor of continuing to discuss. But I do believe Landmark is, that termination fee, if we were to terminate this, I think they've earned that. I think they've put us in a position of all of us are focusing a little bit more on what could go there. Mayor, toward the end of our discussion Thursday or whenever it was at the last ad hoc meeting, talked about possibly scaling back and some of the same things you just mentioned, Councilman Shade, and that, no underground parking. I mean, I'm in favor of looking at all of that. And I'm in favor of Landmark is going to be the person that, they know more about it right now than any other single developer that I know of. I'm in favor of doing it. I think instead of amending it, I think we pay these gentlemen for what they've done. And then if they're willing to continue with it and continue looking at it, I'm willing to vote to do that. But I think that the part about whether we do what's been presented, I think we need to decide if we got majority council that want to do it, move on and do it. If not, I think we put a nail in that and then move on to if it's the scaled down version or another version. And I don't want to throw an elbow to Landmark. I think they've been in there a long time with us. I think they've been gentlemen about it, and they're certainly professional at what they do. But I don't think we should have anybody thinking going forward. Again, now, if the majority is for the current plan, then I think you just vote to move forward with the current plan. But if the majority is not for that, then I don't think we should extend this agreement. I think if anything, we enter a new agreement and move forward with. It's just kind of kicking the same can down the road. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's just one person's viewpoint. But so if they're willing to hang in there with us for 60 days, I think we just do that on another agreement. But for what they've done, I think we pay them for what they've done and then move forward and open up to new ideas. I'm willing to do that with them. So because they have put a lot of time in this thing. But extending basically the same agreement for 60 days just delays a decision that's either going to be a vote up or a vote down. And we're at that point now. We were at that point 30 days ago, but we're at that point now. Just my thoughts.
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. We've got a motion on the floor, the amended motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed?
I'm a vote nay on that.
Okay, the ayes have it 3-1. Jason, thanks for your participation and for hanging in there with us, and we'll keep at it.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, let's close on a boat landing matter. This is over in my district, over in Riverland Terrace, and if you didn't think paving boat landings in South Carolina was legally complicated, I'm here to tell you it is. But I believe the good news here is that the city is going to have to spend a lot less money than we thought we did originally. Is that right, Ms. Copeland?
That is right. Yeah, we got some good news. So originally the plan was, so this is Plymouth Avenue right here. And Kate.
Oh,
You guys see
what happened
that?
to the recording?
There we go. So if anyone needs context, this is the fire station here, you know, with the little windmill off Plymouth Avenue over in Burnstown. County is paving this section of roadway, and initially the county had reached out to us about paving this section straight into the boat landing. And the cost would have been about $31,500. It turns out, thanks to some people on our staff like Matt Compton, who's been here for a very long time, who had some knowledge and some documents from '96, it turns out that this is actually DOT right of way. And this blue section right here, or actually, I'm sorry, this little orange section right here is the city's portion. So we will now only be responsible for $5,500 of the actual paving costs, as opposed to $31,500. So this is actually good news. So the MOU is from the county, basically spelling out the rights and responsibilities of each party, and most importantly, the financial component, that the city will pay them back $5,500 for this paving.
Great. So
I
thank you,
move
Ms.
for
Copeland.
approval. I move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion?
That was a good deal.
It's a great deal. There might be a joke in here somewhere. How many governmental entities does it take to pave a boat landing? We got the James Island Public Service District, us, the DOT. I think it's the county. It's the county's boat landing. But it's all great, and I'm really happy for the folks over there. This is one of the hardest boat landings to launch a boat from. FYI,
I don't know, man. I tell you, years ago, we used to launch underneath that Walpole cut, man. I thought that was the toughest.
Yeah,
At certain time.
Well, it's all part of the same body of water, and when that tide is running through that Walpole cut, it is no joke. So at least we can give our citizens a nice smooth asphalt, entry and exit. It's the least we can do as a community. Well, thanks for that, and great work by our staff digging into those details and saving the city taxpayers thousands of dollars. That's great work. Now I'm forgetting, did we vote on it or not?
We
haven't voted yet.
We have not voted. Let's vote and then we'll celebrate. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you all. And with that, we are done with our agenda. Does anybody have anything for the good of the order or any other? Matt, please.
Mr. Chairman, just before everyone goes, I just want to take the opportunity to introduce everyone to Melina Dinwoody. She is our new real estate director with the city as of last week.
Great. Welcome aboard.
Thanks so much. I'm excited to be part of the team.
Great. We got a lot of real estate.
I'm ready.
All right. Good deal. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Welcome aboard, and we'll see some of y'all at Public Works and Utilities and everybody tomorrow night.